Hello, hello, hello. Hey, how's it going? How are you this evening? Philip, nice to see you. Gary, you too. Grumpy Guy Gaming, good to see you as well. Um, hey, look, I'm inside. That's right. So basically, I managed to get rid of the wife and kids for a couple of nights. Well, I say that, but she was like, "Look, I'm gonna go over to my nan's, stay a couple of nights, so the kids get to spend some quality time with them, and at the same time, I get all this free space, which means I moved into the front room, shoved all the kids' stuff into the corner, tidied up behind me a little bit, and now we're ready to go. So no more noisy cars, no more foxes, birds, bats, definitely no more moths attacking me. It's yeah, it's great. It's good to be inside, and it also means that the kettle is it's just over there in the kitchen, within reach. So, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this headset off because I don't need it on to talk to you guys. And then we'll just see if you can still hear me fine. I'll turn the music off in there. Yeah. Where's the music? Where's the volume? There's the volume. Alright, so I hope you can still hear me fine. Just let me know. Talking quite loudly actually. Get rid of those TV remotes. Pull this water over here. Maybe I could just put the headset closer. There we go. Yeah, I'm all good, Gary. I'm all good. I'm indoors. I got a proper sturdy fold-out table. I got two of them because when they were going cheap a while back, I bought two of them, so I could play big games on them. And I've only played a few games on them, really. But you know, it's got its uses. We use it for car boot sometimes. But today I brought it in the house from the shed. I, brushed it all down. You're at work. Tough luck, man. No worries. We'll keep you entertained while you're at work. All right. Hang in there, bud. Hang in there. Yeah, I got this wooden chair out from the attic as well. It's good, nice to be on a chair with a back on it. I tell ya, it's amazing. So maybe less back clicking during the stream later on. So yeah, we're gonna continue doing this. Where we left off last night, I had overpainted, which I call wet dry brushing, all of the troops, and it's just the vehicles left now. And then I can start blocking in the silver, the golds, the whites and reds and all that sort of stuff, and then shading all of that. So I think we'll get started in a minute. Don't be alarmed if all of a sudden the chat blows up, because the guys, Elston and Josh, Mr. Pickle, they're still doing their stream at the moment. They're doing a little paint off to see who could paint the best in a limited time. But I want to make the most of being able to get on with it being quiet. So let's get painting, shall we? So to all those who haven't tuned in before, this is my Road to Indomitus live streaming series. Basically from last Friday up until this Saturday, my aim is to get everything from the 40k Conquest magazine, or all the Space Marine stuff anyway, built, painted. Is it harder to hear me? Ah, damn. Screw it, I'll put it on. I hope that's better. I got the mic on full. Maybe is the music too loud? There we go. Hey, you alright, lads? Just let me know if the volume's okay. I'm just trying not to get tangled up in the cables at the moment. Oh, I see what you're bloody doing. Yeah. Go on, troll away, you sods. Ah, good to see you all. Blackhawk, Normski, Boffnet, Elston, Spud. How's it all going? Oh my goodness. Shall I read it all out? How it's coming out now? Speculatius, how you doing? All right, so it went. How you are question. How are now? How you? Are you blessed? How are you? How are grand? Are you? Volume is fine now. You you how doing? Cheese. You how you doing? Cheese. How and cheese. How? What the Hey, Nezzy, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Yeah, you'll literally be watching my paint dry. Richard, good to see you too. We got. I only just opened it and then I got distracted. Anyways, I'm gonna continue. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna close it because we've got tons of people in here now. So welcome to the hobby corner. I am inside this time. I'm in the living room. My wife was a good sport and she said she was going to stay at her nan's for a couple of nights, just so I have a bit more time to prepare. I could be indoors as well, so I shoved all the kids' stuff in the corner. I tied it up behind me. I got a big old fold-out table because I had two from years ago because I tried starting gaming at home and it just didn't really pan out, so we ended up using these tables for car boots and stuff. I got a wooden chair out the loft, so it's nice to have a back instead of being on a rickety picnic table, and we're all set up and ready to go. This is my Road to Indomitus series, so basically building and painting all of the Space Marine models from the 40k Conquest magazine. I had about half of it done up until issue 37, that's sort of standard, and then I kind of just petted out a bit. So now I'm getting all of this to that same standard, and then I'll bring the rest out. We've already, as you see, we've built everything. We based it. I smothered it all in Nuln oil, so I don't have to worry about recess shading because it's ridiculously long for no reason. And now I'm wet dry brushing. I refuse to call it over brushing. The Macragge blue back over, leaving the Nuln oil in the recesses, and at the same time touching up those areas that might not have been covered by the initial undercoat spray. So I'm killing two birds with one stone and doing it in a third of the time. So I've done all the troops last night. I've just got the repulsor, the land speeder typhoon, and the 3 bikes and attack bike left to do, and then I can start blocking in the lead belcher, reds, and all that sort of stuff. So thank you so much for being here. I'm kind of in the corner of the front room actually. I'm next to the corner of the sofa. If that I found a corner, all right. Look, I'm indoors. I'm not outside in the wind or the soon to be rain. I don't have to worry about getting chilly. I've got my kettle down there. I've got juice here. I've got snacks here. It's brilliant. I've got more space. I can relax. It's all good, man. Anyway, let's have a little who else has joined us today? Wayne, good to see you. Rivets, how you doing? Wow. Oh, also, don't forget, for every like that I get on this video, it's an extra minute past midnight that I'll be online. So go for it. And also, you know, share it. Yes, I'm hiding my washing. Is that obvious? Can you actually see it? No, you could just see my hoodie. Let's see. Yeah, and the plugs for the thing. It's alright. I actually got a massive pile of clean laundry on the sofa over there that needs sorting. But anyway. We used to call wet dry brushing skimming. Yeah, skimming works. But yeah, no washing line out behind me now. It's all good. I didn't have time to put posters up or anything, but I hope you forgive me. Yeah, I had a look on the company shop. It was actually quite good. So I'll have a chat with the wife about that. But yeah, no, thanks for that shout out, man. All right, cool. Okay, so let's get done. Let's get going, shall we? Right, I've got my pen. So, for those who don't know what skimming or overbrushing or wet dry brushing is, Lupus, how you doing? Basically, it's like dry brushing, but you have a bit more paint on your brush. You don't go near the tissue to dry it off. You just get the worst off. And I'll put this here. I'll switch. I'll do the old switcheroo. There we go. So sweet. Underdog, how you doing? And the pickled jar has called. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's like dry brushing, but you just work off the rest on the palette. Don't go near the paper, and then you just make sure that you go lightly over the panels. But the good thing is, because it's wet, you could just wipe it away, and then just work a bit more off if it's too much. It's really good for getting those panels done, because you know Space Marines are largely panels, but they all have like those little rivets and corners and rims and stuff. So this is just a good way of getting that shaded done and getting a smooth consistency on the flat areas like that. Beautiful. I'm not saying it out loud. I am not saying it out loud. You little pervy people. Alright, so let's do this. Let's get this done. I got a ton of painting to do. Almost no time to do it. But it's going to be fun attempting it. And as I've always said before, like, you know, it's been literally decades since I've had a fully painted fighting force, so it'd be nice to do that. I'm using a beat up brush. I'm using a medium base that I tore to shit. Oh, sorry. Right, it's past 9 o'clock. It's past the watershed, so that's it. Sing it? I'm not bloody singing it. I'll tell you what, you make a donation and I will sing it. So how is everybody today? What are you working on? God blimey, 23 views. 23 viewers. It's really good to have you all on. This is amazing. I appreciate every single one of you. You're beautiful people, you. We will start clicking dislike unless you say he's not reading his comments. I'm leaving. Let me say where. Oh, for God's sake. Boom, boom, boom. Let me say where. Oh, hey, oh. There you go. That's what you're getting. Mr. Kev, what chapter is them Marines going to be? Because they look very smurfy. They are indeed very smurfy. They are to be Ultramarines because that's what was in the magazine. And that's what I did all my tutorials to help all the newbies with. So that's it. The whole idea of when I started up doing the videos for the Conquest series, magazines was to help all the new people and returning people coming back to the hobby with just like explaining what's going on for the building and painting sections in the magazines, just making it a bit more digestible. And I've continued to do the same with the Mortal Realms magazine as well, so that's why I'm painting everything up as it is in the magazine there as well. That's one bike done. No, Mr. Bombastic, you bloody trolling gits. Hey, I was nice on your stream. I didn't troll you, you sods. This is what happens when Spud's not around, right? You guys have no restraint whatsoever. You're nothing but ruffians and street corner hags. Oh no, don't get that song in my head. No, I don't. You are sods, aren't you? I'm blue, da ba dee da ba die, da ba dee da ba die, da ba dee da ba die, da ba dee da ba. There you go. You got the song in my head. I hope you're happy with yourselves. You absolute gits. Oh yeah, no. Don't start that one, otherwise you'll be in a world of pain, mate. Can you guys hear the music, or is it completely dead? I don't think I got the sound levels right when I adjusted them. It's a little known fact that Shaggy was one of the original Primarchs. Yeah, and you know what? Like, everyone thinks it was Erebus that started the heresy, but that's only because Shaggy was standing there saying, "Wasn't me." You can't hear the music. Oh, that's probably why they're going a bit feral right now. There you go. How's that? You're doing a steps song. You dirty birdies. Oh, you're filth. You're absolute filth. We don't need your kind here. Get out of here. Yeah, I did get it all. Alright. It's a groovy chat. It is indeed. So I've gone a bit quiet for a second. I'm just being bombarded by really bad pop songs. Club Tropicana drinks are free. Don't start Bohemian Rhapsody, mate, because then I have to sing the entire thing in my head. Super Trooper. Whoa! What have I done? What have I done? This is the price you pay, you know, for riches and fame. I do like the band that's playing now. They got a very Pantera vibe going. Fun and sunshine is enough for everyone. You guys are scarily in sync. Jeez. Alright. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pull my trigger, now he's dead. That's what you're getting. And now I have to do the whole song in my head, otherwise that's it, I'll go insane. Yeah, love you too, you git. I hope you're happy now. Go on. Toss a coin to the Kevin corner. Toss a coin to you, Kevin. Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? That he is in pain. So you sing like you're in pain. You just don't get it, Nomski. You don't get it. Hey, different gear, how you doing? Good of you to join us. I've just been spending the last 10 minutes being spammed lines from popular songs. It's all been fun and games, I guess, for some people. Alright. I really do like the effect that you get with doing this, because you get like a nice grimy sort of shading going on. So it really sort of adds to the character of it all. How about Mr. Blue Sky? Oh, hey there, Mr. Blue, please come and play with you. We could do the little weird voices. Mr. Blue Sky. Oh, the pain you lot are inflicting upon me is unreal. No, I'm not outside tonight. My wife and kids are gone for a couple of days. They've given me the house back for now. They'll be back. So it means that I don't have any complications when it comes to Saturday as well, and it means according to the schedule on the new Chilling Wargamers schedule, it means I won't clash with anyone, because I think Spud's away at the moment as well. So Friday night I may actually start streaming from 8, just so I can get a bit more painting done, because I honestly don't think I'm going to finish in time unless I start cranking up the speed. But yeah, I'm on a fold out table. It's like one of those big white ones that you see a lot in car boots. I actually got a chair with a back on this time. It's all good, man. I'm out of all the noise, wind and rain and stuff, and no more moths attacking me. So, yeah. What's that? Less than dry brushing. It's only because we have... Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, I appreciate every one of you as well, so thank you, people. So while I've got a fair few people on at the moment, so while I've got you all on, I am thinking about maybe starting some merch. All proceeds will go straight into improving the content quality of the channel, and you know, providing me with stuff that I can actually make content about. But can you imagine buying yourself a t-shirt with a massive green and black logo saying THC? Because if you can, then just shout hell yeah in the chat, and I'll see if I can sort something out. Yeah, a little bit pimped out, yeah. I just kind of had the whole dance monkey dance routine just thrown at me. So what is everyone working on tonight? Let me know in the chat. What are we all doing tonight? Are we just chilling? I know one or two of you are working at the moment, and you know, I love the fact that you're still yeah, you'll just have to enter in the link. It's not a working link, unfortunately. I haven't sorted that out just yet, but if you are on a computer at the moment, you could just copy and paste that name into PayPal, and that'll go straight to me. Or if you're on your phone, then I've got the same details in the description below. and also got a link to the Patreon as well. So if you're looking to support me in as little or as a big way you want to, then you have some options. But just being here, watching, participating, it's more than enough. Hey Nodopoulos, how you doing? Hey fellow nerds. What do my dry age? I can see here. Lots of tough blue DNA to be absorbed. Will those be ultras or crimsons? Also, the ultras, mate. All gonna be ultras. So. I think there's a bit too much hate for Ultramarines, just because for the longest time they've been the poster child of Space Marines. So alright. I'm building Dark Imperium Death Guard. Boo! I'll stop painting, just watching again. Make sure you rinse out your airbrush, dude. Don't let it dry out again. Them Dorty Smurfs. You mean Dorky? Of which they're not. Seeing if I can finish off the last few Marines before Saturday. Sweet. Just chilling. More Gargant this week. Nice. Manolis, how you doing? Were they going to be Ultramarines? And why didn't you buy some spray? I'm looking forward to the first. Oh, I already sprayed them all blue. So what I did was I sprayed them all blue, then I doused them all in non-oil, so I didn't have to do recess shading because it's a lot faster to do that. And then I'm doing you know, like an overbrush of the Macragge blue again from the pot, just leaving the wash in the recesses, and that allows me to touch up any areas that I missed with the spray at the same time. So I'm killing two birds with one stone in that way, and I'm saving a bit of time. Looking forward to my first can of spray Macragge blue. Oh, chat's moved. It's my first one. That's Dark Angel Sergeant. Ah, nice. This reminds me of Blue Peter, and here's one I done earlier. Hey, look. If you were here yesterday, you would have seen it happen. With a tash. Nice. Washing up done. Can relax now. Sweet. Kev, I want a grey multi shirt. A grey mole. I don't know what I mean. With your green logo on. £15-20. Nice. Is Black Brother as well, kind of based on Wesley Snipes? Nice. That sounds cool. Didn't use it tonight. Well, good. Make sure you clean the tip. Alright. Always keep your tips clean. If it weren't for Smurfs, there wouldn't be as many traitors. It's well known that them and their fellow chapters are most likely to turn to chaos. Well, considering they you know, it's rumored in one of the Horus Heresy books that they absorbed the two legions which belonged to the two Primarchs, which, you know, no one talks about. Yeah, it's a possibility. Doughty is in filthy, as in more hate for Smurfs. Dying to paint something, gotten out ready. Just trying to summon the energy to make up an oil wash for the house. Ultras, yes. Pretty tough army. Has answers to almost everything. Or at least they used to when I paused back then after about 6 games of 8. Yeah, then everyone else started getting more options and it kind of went south from there. They are looking exceptionally tasty. Thank you very much. Fish base colours for some planes. And yeah, alright, so we got some traction for a little bit of merch. That sounds cool. So t-shirts, mugs. What, you want a mouse mat pad, magnet, bandana, A mask, maybe. Going around with a mask saying THC on it. Blimey. Literally, I think they won't sell because of, you know, people are fans of the show as much as they'll sell just because it says THC and it's in green. And if they get asked about it, just no, it means the Hobby Corner. It's a great channel on YouTube. Do you think Blue and White gets a bad rep because of the Blue Ranger being a nerd in the first series of Power Rangers? Just White is notoriously difficult to do, and blue is actually a really easy colour to do. It's quite solid, but it's just because they've been the poster boys for so many editions. So, and you know, it's popular to, you know, not like the popular thing, you know. Ultras get stick because everyone hates Chelsea. Oh, don't start with that football nonsense on my chat, matey. We don't have it here. Right, just missed those spots. Okay, let's get this Tankaroo done. Who were the two mystery Primarchs? They're the ones that belonged to the 2nd and 11th Legions, wasn't it? 2nd and 11, yeah. And I think they only did that because they thought that people would get confused between the number 11 and the Roman numerals for 2. So they just and it sort of created a bit of mystery and a bit of drama. They never really intended for it to be, you know, anything, but, you know, 40 years later, people are dying to know the answers. So just leaked little bits and pieces here and there. Well, it's easy to do. Well, it is now with contrast, actually. Right. What was every chapter? Wait, no. There's Zulus, I reckon, Nuts, Forest, Dark Angels, Wolves, Wolverhampton, etc. Blood Angels are the Gunners or Man United. I don't know. Maybe Liverpool. Whereas every chapter now has Primaris, they also now all have Ultramarine Gene Seed in them too, as the Primaris gene was made up of all the Primarch Gene Seed. They took the best bits out of, they kept all the best bits of the Gene Seed, tried to take out all the bad bits. And to begin with, all the Gene Seed was mixed up, because the reinforcements were just needed real quick. But then they started sorting them out. So the Blood Angels got Blood Angel Gene Seed, and so on and so forth. And now apparently the flaws are starting to show again. So who knows? What we got? One of Mr. Primarchs was Lenny from Motorhead. The other was Rod Hole. Okay. Every blinking bod knows the greys and the blues just don't get on. I'm not saying that. Alright, I want it to be a homebrew just so nobody could compare my painting. That's fair enough. Which means get stick because they are goody brown noses of I mean, until you read No Fear and then you realise actually they're not too goody. They have their flaws and stuff as well, and they could be really badass. And that's the book that Gilliman really sort of came away from the diplomat goody two shoes sort of imagery and actually really kicked ass. I don't like dirt. Oh, okay. They were never born. They were in the vats back on Terra, but nothing is known about them after that. Well, the Primarchs being launched into space wasn't an accident either, was it? Let's get these panels painted up. God, this takes forever. I really do wish I could do a Blue Peter thing where I say, hey, this is what I worked on earlier. Someone said you should paint your orc colours the same as a local school footy team. Fair enough. There ain't Primaris in my walls and never will be. Boo. Does anyone know if the Avenging Sun book that they are all arguing over, the brother on the cover, if he actually is an Ultra? Oh, dude. Thank you so much. The notification for that won't pop up on the alert box on the screen because, well, the link doesn't work properly for some silly reason. But thank you so much for your donation, man. I really appreciate it. You are an absolute babe, and yeah, if I ever meet you, I'll give you a big old squeeze. Not that kind of squeeze. But thank you very much. Big love, man. Big love. Mwah. Is not terrain, or is he an Avenging Sun with a new logo instead of a cross? No, the Avenging Sun is just the name, like it's like a nickname for Gilliman. And he is, you know, the Primarch of the Ultramarines. You know, he's the only one that's actually in action at the moment. There's a couple where the whereabouts is roughly known of, and then there's some that have just like gone AWOL completely, and no one's seen for thousands of years. If you're talking about the fact that there's a dark-skinned space marine, well, I think that's just to add a bit more diversity, because you know, who's to say that there aren't dark-coloured skinned people in the Ultramarine controlled worlds? You got to think the original Empire was 500 worlds, and then they gave all the important ones to successor chapters, and then, you know, so but I mean, most Space Marines you don't even see with the helmet off. Most of them you see with the helmet on, so they could be any ethnicity really. But I think the original concept for each chapter, each founding legion, was sort of base them off historical empires. So that sort of led the narrative on their appearance a bit. It was, I have a ton of metal wolves untouched. PM me if you're interested. Did you like? Says to Calgar, take a chapter to Armageddon. Calgar asks, is there any dirt there? Sigilite says, yes, loads. Calgar says, oh, nah, you're okay. I just had my suit dry cleaned. The Primax Nan left them outside the bookies when she went on to place a sneaky bet. Outside, they were stolen by warp beasts. Oof. How's it going? All good, man, all good. How you doing, Dan? Good of you to join us. Thanks for the offer, appreciate it. Really don't need any inf. Would only take them to be greedy. Okay. I'm playing loads of different skin tones on the army at the moment. That's cool, man. I'm just checking something out. So yeah, I hope you're all feeling good. You're all feeling chilled. And yeah, just keep letting us know what you're on at the moment, what you're up to. Sorry, I got a very important message I needed to send to the missus, just to see how the kids are. Oh, I know. I'm such a caring daddy. Could the Emperor have created the orcs around the same time, but he sogged it up? No, the orcs were created by the old ones to combat the Necrontyr, who at the time became Necrons, because they were sort of created to have like really random, rampant psychic abilities, and at the same time be completely and utterly random, like just be like absolute anarchy, and they were sort of used as like that sort of weapon against the Necrons through the sheer anarchy. So Stormlord, who's one of the top leaders of the Necrontyr, he can never beat orcs by tactical acumen alone, because he couldn't get a bead on them, essentially. I remember that was in one of the codexes, actually. And like you had this special ability that allowed you to do like an early deployment first turn or something, but you couldn't do it against orcs, something like that. I don't know, might be talking nonsense. Has over 100 Marines and my army rogue trader, so a lot of new figs. Whew. I look forward to hearing the audiobook, for it is not a problem for me with that, but to some it is only half of Red Dwarf, some 40k fan. Sort of. I can imagine an Ultramarine immediately with an orc about to get punched, screaming, not in the face. So you never played Space Marine then? Because the Ultramarine in that didn't scream, "Don't punch me in the face." He actually punched the orc in the face with a chainsword. So, these all from real early nights. Oh, sweet. The new Contemptor Dread looks like a knight next to my original Dreados and Furibunder's Dreadnought. Yeah, the size comparison is stark when you stand everything next to each other. The old Slan are still out there. They are our reptilian overlords. Well, apparently they sort of fled to another galaxy and tried to start up shop there instead. I don't think they're still around. As soon as the warp became too tumultuous and the webway came under attack and compromised, they were out of there. Alright, see you, Gary. Thanks again, man. Big love to you. Seriously, big love to you, mate. Love the wet dry brushing. Learn something new every day. Sweet. Hashtag wet dry brushing. I'm telling you, it's done so much of the work for me. Rivers and Dakar. Read an article in What Dwarf years ago explaining why orc blood is red, and that the plant DNA they contain came from the earth. Oh. Well, I mean, take everything you read in a White Dwarf years ago with a pinch of salt, I'd say. Oh, I'm not getting it wet enough. It's become more of a dry brush than a wet dry brush. I can't wait for the return of squats as an army. And you know what? I'd be surprised if they did. They might do them like a special mercenary unit or something. But I don't think they'll actually bring them back. Though never say never. There's nothing to say that. I mean, I doubt all of them got eaten by the Tyranids. And they seem to be popping up lately in you know, like the odd model here and there. So you never know. Yes, over brushing, but I call it wet dry brushing. Changed my mind. Just learn the lore and they change it. Yeah. Well, Kev, you gone and done it. I'm looking at getting into 40k with the Imperium. I love those big tanks. Just got to get... Yeah! I mean, like, this tank is so beautiful. There's so much extra stuff on it as well. It's unbelievable. And you could just load it up like an orc. And that's what I love about it. It's just guns, guns, and guns. And then, oh, look, there's some more guns. Like, the Imperium just went, look, how are we going to beat these orcs? Guns. Okay. These enough guns? No. And then they, like, hire, like, a freebooter mech orc. Hey, these zoomies don't know how to do proper Dakar. Yeah, I'll show you, mees. Yeah. You daft blue gits. And then, yeah. Could you imagine how big a Leviathan would be in model 40k scale? Just be the size of the room, easily. I call it scruffy painting. Oh no, it's the brilliance of it though is that it leaves so much uneven shading, so it gives it like a grimy look. Just hang on, see this area here, see it's got a nice grimy look to it. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want it to be clean, you know. I want it to look like it's got some sort of damage, and this is like the quickest, easiest way of weathering something as well. But I'll still have to put on another layer of blue later. It's going to be a lighter blue. But I'll just thin it out a bit. tell you what. I remember when my very first tank was the Monolith, right? And for the longest time, it was the only tank I ever had. And I spent way too long painting that bad boy up. I even painted up the crystal to make it look like, you know, like all layered and light sourced and stuff like that. It was madness, but I was proper chuffed with it because, you know, it's my first tank. And then it wasn't until I was about 10 years later after I did that I actually got another tank, and it was Razorback. And I never got around to painting it. I have a Leviathan en route from Forge World as a, ooh, nice. My looted wagon's red grill. It's 20 feet high in real life. Oh, sweet. Hey Nova, how you doing, man? Yeah, I'm good. Hope you're all well. Thanks for joining us. It's awesome. Gets his right. Looks shiny to me. Like, guns is the orc bling, isn't it? Like, you know, stick a rocket on it. Who needs to reload? I've got unlimited ammo. Where's the ammo? What do you mean, where's the ammo? The ammo's in the gun. Yeah, but like, there's nothing in the gun. No, it shoots. I think we've all heard that story now, haven't we? Where the Magi would like, the tech Magi were like, look, there's nothing in the gun, how does it work? And then Orc just picks it up and starts shooting away. Like, you know, just because he believes that it will shoot, and that's it. That's how potent the psychic ability of the Orcs is. I'll never get tired of that story. It's such a laugh. And there's loads of rumours about, you know, whether or not the Emperor is kept alive just by the sheer fact that the Orcs believe him to be. You know, like, he's actually that powerful because the Orcs believe that he's that powerful. You know? Would loot some of these, but not keen on over tanks for the Orcs. No, I mean, like, you could just get a cereal box and stick some spare guns on it. And just, that's an Orc tank. Hey Rob, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. So yeah, for all the new people in the group, if you hit the like button, when it comes to midnight, however many likes I have, that's how many minutes I'll be going past midnight on my live stream. So if you want to see more of me, that's all you got to do. It's just hit that like button. Or trucks with no engines. Hey. And I remember complaining about metal Terminators going up to £5 each, and now I'm shelling out 60 a Dreadnought. I know, right? Do you remember when they used to sell like just one of these in a box for £5? Kids these days haven't got a clue. And got a metal Bjorn. What's it worth? Well, it all depends on who's buying it, I assume. You get a pretty penny for that. Probably get an easy 30 quid off eBay. Yeah, nice and grimy. That's what we like. Oh, if I get time, I might add a bit more grime to it. But I think this is just like the right amount at the moment. No one has a shiny tank unless it's just come out of the factory. Or you're an Imperial Fist because, you know, you just hide behind walls. You've been let in from the garden. Yeah, the wife and kids are away for a couple of nights. So I got free reign of the sitting room, which means I could bring out the other table. And I've actually got a proper chair to sit on, so I won't be cracking my back as much. So yeah, it's all good, man. We haven't heard the cars go past, the foxes fight, the birds chirping. I haven't been attacked once by a moth or a flying beetle. It's been pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I used to get 16 Orc Boys for £12. Yeah, that's good. I have High Elf Silver Helm on horseback in its blister with a price tag of £2.95. God damn. I'll check eBay. Tech all new to me. Am I the only one remembering when a full codex used to be about $11? I don't know what that would have been in pounds. Or am I really old to have witnessed the 90s outside? Well, I was a full-blown kid in the 90s. So I wouldn't have seen that, to be honest. But I'm sure the books would have been a lot thinner back then. Yes, but when I was buying them, they were all white metal. But that was in the days before the Chinese pinched all the white metal to start their yeah. Ultramarines have shiny everything. Yes, they do. And then it gets grimy because they're on the forefront of the Indomitus crusade and every war front, really. And they have Secundus Imperialis, I think it's called. That whole region that used to be strictly Ultramarine space, but it's Ultramarine plus, you know, all of their successor chapters, 500 worlds, and you gotta imagine that's a big area to protect. So they're always in combat, they're always backing up their pals. And then they have to come and save, you know, Blood Angels from being wiped out by bugs and I'll still have all my old milk. That's fair enough. I reckon if their price, there would be a single box left on the shelf, and they would have orders coming out. There is. The thing is, I think they price it fair considering how much research and development goes into it, and you're not, you know, all of their money. I mean, aside from, you know, the bit that they pay to investors, they reinvest a heck of a lot, and they invest in the community a lot as well. And you know, they do alright with the money that they make. They're not too greedy with it, to be honest, and it's just a shame more companies aren't like that, really. But, you know, at the same time, they are still a company to go and make a profit, otherwise they go bust. And everything costs more now, even the materials. should almost do. And I've still got the back door to do as well. Don't forget, back in the 90s, we used to get paid crap money. Yeah. Codex went up to 15 quid from 9.50. What corner are you in tonight, Kev? I'm right next to the corner of my sofa. That's the corner I'm at. Which is next to the corner of the front room. So I'm still in a corner, just not in the corner of the porch. So far more comfortable. Yeah, the repulsor's coming along. Yes, the corner of my sofa. In second edition, the codices were massive. With third edition, 40k, they went to booklets with about 20 to 60. Yeah, and most of the fluff migrated to the rulebook. I think they did that not to like cheapen, not cheapen, but to cut people short of the, you know, what they were paying for. I think it was more just because the books were really like not cool to have on the table. It took up a ton of space, and then they got a big backlash from it, so they changed it again eventually. Well, I mean, you know, all companies make mistakes, they all learn. Sometimes you get a really bad decision made for greedy reasons. Like for quite a few years, Games Workshop was run badly. They just had the wrong person in charge, and you know, sales started to lag and everything like that, and they were almost going to like go under at one point, I think. And then they changed the business model. They got someone new in, and they did alright. So that's that done. Whoosh. Cheese and bread indeed. It's what was that? It's the Kev in the corner is the Kev in the corner of a sofa. That's about right. When I play 40k, there was no codex, just the main rule and cost list stuff for stuff. You're going back like what, first edition then? You'll normally find him in the corner. Yep. I'm a naughty boy. Cheese and bread. Especially at parties. Yep. I still, unless I get a few beers in and there's karaoke, then I won't be in the corner. Unless the karaoke's in the corner. I still have all my codices from second edition. Nice. Always find him in the... I'm back. Had to pop out for tea. That's alright, man. Welcome back. Nice to see you again, Philip. You know, makes no mistakes. Cough. Fine crap. Yeah, no. You know what happened to the guy who was on quality control for that? Apparently his feet didn't even touch the floor. Like, Finecast was... It had all the hope of, you know, being a great alternative to the white metal and still having the level of detail, but something went wrong with the process, the mixture, the quality control just wasn't good. And they had bubbles in the bloody solution, didn't they? So Yeah, they lost a lot of money on that. I remember when I finally thought, you know what, I'm gonna buy a King Leon Kerr for the Bretonians, and it was a fine cast. And I went with the shop manager through. They only had 4 boxes in stock. I went through all of them, and every single one, something was miscast. It was out of shape, or it was wonky or something. Like the head was like the half the face was up here. It just didn't look right, and the shield was all out of place, and there was bubbles. But we managed to mix and match some of the bits and pieces, and you know, of course, they just said to send the rest back. And the one and only fine cast Necron character I got was the Stormlord, and of course he's got a finger missing from it being a miscast, but it's not so noticeable. Let's see. Have you got Age of Sigma paintings lined up yet, Kev? Yeah, well, after I get all this done and I blitz through the Indomitus stuff, I'm gonna start blitzing back through the Age of Sigma stuff. Because yeah, I don't want to fall behind on that like I did with the Conquest stuff. So yeah, and now that lockdown has sort of eased a bit, especially for us, it means I might get an evening a week where I won't have the kids and wife around, where I can actually just pump out stuff. But it is all just getting time to edit, you know. Indeed, the old GW CEO was all about pleasing the shareholders and profit at the cost of the customer, but the new CEO has pulled it back. Yeah, as soon as he went in, he just like ripped half the pages out the rulebook and went, fuck all that. What are we missing that we should be doing already and that we haven't been doing for like a couple of years? And they're like, right, get on social media, get on all the platforms, start sharing. Instead of having rumors, let's do like a little rumor engine thing and stuff like that. They ramped up their websites. They've done, you know, like articles and stuff, everything. Like, and it's all from the profits of selling the models. They can support all of that. So the new business model's working, and it did mean that, say, 95% of the stores had to go to one-man stores, and they were closed for 2 days a week. But it works. There was a little bit of disruption at first, but it works, and you just have like a couple of floating staff in each region to cover when they're on holiday or they're sick or something. And then just for the bigger, busier stores, they kept the sales assistants, and that works too. So yeah, they've really done well, and it's shown in the quality of the product as well. There was no first edition. It's called Rogue Trader. Yeah, Rogue Trader with the goofy little beakies. Do you think companies like Warlord, with their gates of angered? Oops, hang on. Sorry, the thing's moving a lot. Where was I? Do you think companies like Warlord with their gates of angered will be as popular as you? I'm sure they could be popular, but I don't think they'll be as popular as Games Workshop. It's kind of become a house brand now, and they've got computer games, magazines. You know, they've really worked at it in the last 10 years, especially. So everyone knows pretty much what Games Workshop or Warhammer is, you know. Rogue is made up. Yes, it is. Damn pretext. came back to 40k this year after 25 years away. These models are so much better than... Yeah. Big Friendly Wargamer, how you doing, man? How's it going? I'm trying to decide, do I build all the Marine half from Conquest or sell them? Build it! Build it! Oh, it's good to see you, man. GGO is so big now, little companies struggle to compete at many levels. That's true. Funcast was actually very nice resin, but they mishandled it in production, so it always came up. Yeah, there was bubbles in the it just, yeah, it was crap because the quality control just was abysmal, and by then everyone just avoided it like the plague, and so they had to look for alternatives. I once returned the Dark Elder Succubus 5 times till I opened it in the store to make sure I got the right. Yeah. Just be picky. Because I went off GW for many years till the last 2 or 3 years because their stuff was far. Yeah. There's always going to be people who hate them because of past transgressions, or, you know, they don't like the popular guy, the guy that's doing well, for whatever reason. Like, you know, they will support a company until it starts doing well, and then it's like, they're not like how they used to be. When really you should celebrate the fact that, you know, you've supported a company and now they are being successful and you can now benefit from that success. Because that's basically what we're doing. I mean, look how much stuff they're pumping out, and you don't have to do all of it. You can pick and choose at your leisure what suits you, what you got time for. So many entry levels, it's absolutely crazy. Right, I gotta actually get some painting done. I've been chatting away so much. It's been awesome. I'm loving it. Got 23 people on. Bloody hell. How many likes are we doing at the moment? Remember, every like that I get is a minute over midnight that I stay on. So let's see those likes going up and up and up. GW float on the footsie, so Mantic and other are no. Yeah. Thought I'd pop in and say hi. Been painting a bit every day and hoping my dom should be delivered tomorrow. Ugh, don't tell me you're another one of those people who are getting it earlier. I've got to wait till Saturday, man. But no, it is good to see you, man, because, you know, like, I only get to see you once in a blue moon in the store. And of course, that's gone down the spout now. And it's always just say a quick hello, because I get very distracted by all the shinies. We haven't had a good old chinwag in a long time. So if I ever come down to the shop and you happen to be there when things sort of peter down a bit, be nice to catch up. The original sculpts, which were done in fine cast, were originally created to be cast into metal. Yeah, the whole process was a good work. I think they just didn't account for the fact that the solution was going to bubble up like that, and they had no way of releasing those bubbles. You know, because if you put molten metal into a mold, you're not worrying about the bubbles really, are you? If you put in a liquid solution, there's more chance that you're going to get bubbles in it. And of course, a lot of the molds were already quite old as well. So, but they kept on pumping out new stuff in Finecast because, you know, like it takes them like about 3 years, I think it is, maybe a bit longer or a bit shorter depending on the project. But the average time is about 3 years for them to get a product from pen and paper to in a box on the in the shops. So if you can imagine, that's why it took them quite a few years before they started doing plastic characters. I mean, look at what they're doing now. Look at the Indomitus box. Look at the elves as well. How badass do they look? Carriage and Overlords. That's another one that I really want to start. I fell in love with them when I first saw them, but just don't have the space for those sky ships, and those are the things that I love the most. I don't care if they're competitive or not. I don't care if they're overcosted in points or not. I just want a nice little armada with some dudes hanging off the sides. 'Cause that's what it's all about. Big Dwarf fan. Let's see. Got 27 likes so far. Nice. With the first edition, you could buy whatever figs you wanted to work out how much points cost, and it was table next. Codex was what you could afford and liked. Fair enough. Then GW started telling us what figs to buy, and that was kind of the last straw for me. Well, I mean, of course, they're going to guide the sales a bit. That's what drives some of the points adjustments. But I mean, having points in a game isn't a perfect system anyway, because there's too many variables. As in, you know, when it comes to special rules, stats, fine, you can put points on those things and then come up with a total for that model. But then you got to think, you got to figure out about the couple of dozen extra rules which can affect that model, or the dozen other units that model affects, and then you've got to work out the points of those effects going back and forth, and it's a very convoluted thing. It's not just GW doing well themselves. I think they're doing much better with their partnerships. The video games example, yeah, they are doing a lot better with their licensing, because they were really stingy with it before now, and they're doing alright with it now. I stopped buying the minis purely on the basis of their half the production and up the price, so they blatantly took advantage of customers, but it's gone right. Yeah, they've done alright now. Where am I at? I'll be in the shop a fair bit once things go back to normal. I think Lee will be glad of the company again. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I mean, he's probably just like painting up some more fists, isn't he, with his time. Marvel Comics, yeah, live action film, not too I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, they tried to do a CGI one, and it was with some really big names. You know, Ultramarines, that movie. It had some really big names. They were doing state-of-the-art tech for CGI, where like they had the camera on the faces, but they couldn't really move their face, like their heads around. But they used all the facial things and that. But I think it was just the story itself let the whole movie down. Got blast. I ended up with the limited edition DVD for that. Thank you. I enjoyed it for what it was. I spent hundreds on GW in the last 2 years. Yes, so have I. All the figures I have bought for so far are just amazing, so good to paint, so much detail, superb. Yeah, you got to think, right, when I was 10, I think that was when the standard Space Marine that we know came out. Like, I had some Space Marines from before that when I was about 8, and they were a little bit smaller, and they were just slightly out of proportion, and it was just legs, torso, arm. The head was already on the torso, and he just stuck a backpack on it. Then the next lot, it was a lot more flexible with what you could do. You know, you could swap out the arms, different stances of the legs. Torso still went on the thing. You could put the head anywhere you wanted. It was great. And they were a lot easier to paint back then, because you didn't have so much detail. You could just add the detail. Now you've got so much hanging off them. it longs out, but at the same time they look fantastic. So you spent hundreds in the last week. Madman. GW did have the solution against the bubbles. You just had to buy liquid green stuff. Yeah, I remember. I still got some liquid green stuff. It's still good. Canada, Austria spent 20 grand on GW since the 90s. That kind of sounds about right. Sold a massive amount in the night. Oh wow. Where did it go? 2 Contemptors and a Leviathan. And about 5 grand when I compare bought minis and selling them paint. Oh, it did make me laugh when they kept the new plastic single minis at fine cost prices, but now it's all evened out. Yeah. Except for the vampire knights, which are still ridiculously priced. See what geeks we are. Yeah, we're all geeks at the end of the day. Right, I've got that Ultramarine movie Blu-ray. It has some good moments, but let's be honest, besides some very good voice acting and memorable lines, it's a bit yeah. It hasn't dated well at all. It's definitely it looks so bloody dodge, but it was a good laugh, you know. Right, I better get painting again. I think I've done all that. Yeah, done on the side of that. There we go. It's a bit more on the front. There we go. So this music's a bit freshy, isn't it? I like the tempo of it, definitely. Okay, that's... Oh no, I just missed the arms. Whoops. So what's everyone's plans on Saturday? Well, Henry Cavill is a big fanboy anyway. I don't know about Jared Butler, but as long as they don't end up painting a fake six-pack on him, it's all good. Morgan Freeman as the Sigilite. It could work, you know. I think he gets given divine positions a bit too much, though. How many movies has he been playing God in or something like that? I don't know. Sean Pertwee killed that movie for me. His really good acting voice was just a bit too girly for me. We all have our preferences, don't we? I liked Sean Pertwee as well. Oh, I'm just munching some sweet and salty popcorn. Oh, nice. A life-size beaky helmet to wear. Brilliant. Yeah, so for all those who are have been living under a rock and haven't been kept in a loop, from tomorrow in the UK, well, in England anyway, you have to wear a mask if you want to go into a shop, and if you're going into a takeaway or into a restaurant. But if you're going to a restaurant, as soon as you sit down at a table, you're allowed to remove the mask because you're not moving around. And of course, everything is table service now. So it's clear enough rules. But there's always going to be someone who goes, what about this situation? What about that situation? And try and break the rules. It's very English accent was like not superhuman. To be honest, I don't think anyone could do a Space Marine voice because their throats would be a lot bigger, so the voice would be deeper, but it wouldn't just be more baritone because the voice box would change shape as well. So you'd have a lower but also a higher mix, like, you know, variation to the pitches that they can create, you know. I don't think anyone could accurately replicate that, so, you know, just going is good enough. What am I doing now? Oh yes, metallics. Let's get that thing done. Alright, we are looking for lead belcher. Lead belcher quality. Hey Interzone, how you doing, mate? Yeah, we're all doing good, man. All chilling out, and we're all saying some really random stuff, but we're having a laugh with it. Right. I don't mind if the metallics goes a bit blue, so I'm not going to change that water because I'm going to throw that water anyway. Look at this BS though. The rail's fallen off, like part of the rail snapped off. That's a design flaw. Why do you need the rail to come all the way out there? Anyway. Still don't see how they are going to enforce that rule. There are a lot of people out there who will say nuts to it. They just will be refused entry. So it's that simple. It's that simple. Just they're not allowed in. They have someone on the door to, you know, control how many people come and go. If they're not wearing a mask, they just say, sorry, you need a mask. But I'd be one of, like, it would be smart of those shops to have that person who's standing on the door to have a pack of masks next to him and just sell them. Like 50p or something, you know. Here's a mask, 50p, now you can come in the shop. James O could do a marine. You reckon? Oh, look how long it's been since I've used this. It's gone black. Alright, that needs a real good shake. There you go, here's some fan service for you lads. Yeah. We in Melbourne, Australia are the only city in Australia wearing masks. Well, that's because you're so heavily populated, aren't you? Tell me, why is it Canberra and not Melbourne that's the capital? You know? How it makes more sense for Sydney to be the capital than Canberra. Yeah. Well, I mentioned Morgan Freeman, and a post popped up in Facebook. Is it? It could be. know all the shady goings on that Facebook and Google have. Alright. Let's get the little chaps done. This is going to take the longest time ever. If you got to wear a mask, the government should give them out free. Well, I mean, it's not specifically masks. They say face coverings. So it might not be as effective as a mask. But the idea is that you just keep your face covered with something, as ambiguous as that is. I think they can't give out free masks if they wanted to, because they almost bankrupt the country, putting everyone on furlough. So guess it is what it is at the end of the day. Someone somewhere's got to make money from this whole thing, haven't they? Brian Bless could be a Marine. You know what? He does a great Gotrek. I don't think he'd do a great Marine. Unless he's doing like Space Wolf maybe. He's got those wild eyes, hasn't he? Big bushy beard. He could be a Space Wolf librarian. Big Vin, maybe. Be suckered. Nicolas Cage could be a cultist that gets killed in the first fight. Oh, I'll tell you what, Nicolas Cage is an absolute nutter of an actor. But if you look at his methodology, it makes sense why he comes across as an absolute nutter. I think there's like a whole documentary on it, on his influences and stuff, and it all goes back to like old theatre and cinema. No one does crazy like him. Right, I'm out of here. Oh, good night, man. Cheers. Thank you for joining us, mate. It's been a pleasure. Can't wait to see you again. Appreciate it, man. Rick Moranis as Horace. Nah. You can get what's his name? The guy who used to be in EastEnders and then started doing those army TV shows. He used to be a butcher. I bloody remember his name now. Ross Kemp. There we go. I just remembered. Ross Kemp. He's got the bald head for it. He's got the crazy stare. I mean, I don't think Brian Bless could do Falcon because you'd get into the whole blackface like thing, and that's just like gonna be a whole thing. Even though salamanders aren't actually you know, have like dark brown skin, they actually have charcoal coloured skin. It could easily be misinterpreted as blackface. So yeah, Idris Elba would do that. Idris Elba is a really good actor, and not just for like, you know, racial profiling or anything like that, but just he would do it justice, because he can balance the kind. He can do like the kind, benevolent sort of character, but then he can just flip it. And of course, Vulcan, he loses his mind, doesn't he? Because he keeps getting killed and being rezzed. He goes absolutely loony. I think Idris Elba could do that well. Oh yeah, now Ross Kemp comes up on a chat. Like, I already said the name. What about Mangello? Do you think he would fit in as one of the Primarchs? A parody of Warhammer with Rick. Yeah. Screw it, why am I being neat? I need to be neat. Oh, not too neat anyway. This is an old small base brush as well, so like you can see it after a couple of brush strokes, it starts splitting. Let's just wet that up a bit more. I'm not even on camera. Jeez. There we go. That's better. Lawrence Fishburne. No. No way. It won't work, man. He's too old now. Could you imagine Lawrence Fishburne though as Vulcan? If you take the red pill, you'll go back to, you know, being a data miner for the Imperium, or if you take the blue pill, I'll show you how to mastercraft a bolt gun. Oh, if you're looking for voices, that's a completely different conversation. Lawrence Fishburne could do a good voice for him if it was like for an animation. No, you didn't. There's a massive lag on like when I say something, then when you hear it, and then when you post the comment, and when I receive the comment, there's a big lag. Oh my god, I've got 45 skipped frames. Jesus. I'm sorry for the stream being so dodgy. I had no idea. If I can't reach it, can't see it. I'll just leave it. I forgot the back bit here though. Lots of buffering. Is the internet straining? Oh, it is a Thursday evening. The internet's consistent. It's just the laptop needs a bit of money put into it. It can hold up to 16 gig RAM, but I only have 8 in it at the moment, so I definitely need to put money into it. It's a Kev in a frozen corner. Well, what I'll do, as long as you can hear me, that's the important thing. But I hope that helps. I've just changed over to one camera, so that might lessen the load a bit. Jesus. It really has frozen up, hasn't it? Well, I mean, this way you can't see me doing such a bodge job on the paint. Mike Tyson. Oh my god. Not in a million years. I'll switch into my medium layer. Why are they hammering now? It's 11 o'clock at night and they started to hammer on the walls. Fucking neighbours behind me. Laggy shenanigans, yeah. So has everything smoothed out now? Has it sorted itself out? I haven't got an alert up yet. Oh no, there we go. It just said 75% of the stream just went. What's going on? Yeah, it's better to have a desktop to do live streaming on because it's cheaper to run and you can pump a lot more stuff into it and it's just easier to upgrade. Unfortunately, I don't have room for a desktop. I don't even have a desktop anymore. I used to have one, but I just use my laptop. But yeah. I mean, well, thanks to Gary with that £5 donation that he made earlier, that's going straight into the pot to buy myself an 8 gig RAM card. And that's going to be the first thing that I pop into supporting this channel, because then I can actually do like I can edit faster, less lagging on that. It also means I can live stream smoother as well. Painting and strobe lighting. Just some crazy jumpy shizzle. Yeah, it went really crazy all of a sudden. I think it's just the day, because it's a Thursday. And it's 11 o'clock, so you got a lot of people on the internet right now with their wangs out. Just trim your tash and you'll be fine, dude. How dare you? How dare you? I'm very fond of my patchy tash. Thank you very much. It took me a long time to be able to grow one. Still can't, but you know. Cooling helps sometimes. Get back outside. I have to say, it's a bit warmer in here. But the laptop doesn't feel hot at the moment. It's just warm. I felt it a lot hot before. So, but I was getting lagging issues outside as well. I think it is just more to do with the, you know, the day of the week. I knew this bit would take forever. Blocking in the silver. Ugh. Thinned out too much. You'll be able to see my fangs then. Oh, and hear your voice too. Cool. Painting wise, as your skills and abilities get better, would you go back and repaint the older models or leave them as veterans, as they don't match up? Historically, I have gone back with my Kev Marines. I went back and repainted them because I started collecting Space Marines when I was about 8. Didn't have a lot, but I had some. And when I was a teenager, I went back to them and just prettied them up, and you know, made them as the Kev Marines. But then, you know, I didn't really play much after my teen years, and then when I came back to them again, I touched up some of them. You know, like just sorted out the paint, not actually molested them. And but yeah, I haven't really done that since. I think it just, if you got the time, by all means enjoy that. Going back and, you know, adding to them, but I don't think it's necessary, and it's kind of humbling to keep those old paint jobs around, because then you can see your progress and you can kind of show your progress as well. So for that reason, I don't think I'll do it anymore. I'll send you a link to a video with some stuff you can sort out in Streamlabs to help. Well, no, I've got the streaming bits down to 5,000, and you know, I've sorted out the resolution and everything. So normally it's not this bad. I haven't had it this bad since I started. I just literally think it's because it's on a Thursday. I actually stripped all my old minis to repaint as I get better, but never painted. Yeah, I actually got some stripped minis that I never got back around to painting. There were the metal command squad for the Space Marines. I remember when that command squad became no longer a proper command squad, and they made the Tech Marines separate and just gave you an extra guy in the squad with a plasma gun or multi-melter. It was just like, oh, cool. You just changed it all. But Tech Marines were pretty hardy in the combat. Oh yeah, bolt guns are gonna slow me down. Something rotten. Screw you, bolt guns. Okay. That's one bolt gun done. Jesus. I got 5 alerts already of skipped frames since I cleared it. It's ridiculous. Kids texting each other over the table. Karen was talking to Rivers about the Tash. Alright, alright. Gotta put a name in front of it then, otherwise I'm gonna just assume you're talking about me. Oh my, autocorrect, not Scrubs, everyone. Autocorrect is fun sometimes. But then there's some epic fails like, why would you ever use duck in any other context other than, are we going to go feed the ducks, or are we going to enter a description of a body of water to see ducks? You know, why would that keep coming up but not the expletive? It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I could like paint the entire bolt gun to make it a little bit easier for myself now, in the lead belcher. But the problem is, I'll still have to paint over those other areas in a different color. So it's, you know, it wouldn't set me back too much, but it would be a bit of a hassle. So that's why I'm not too worried about being a bit messy, as long as I get the main details blocked in. And because the bolt guns get painted in black and silver, I do miss having the old red bolt guns, I have to say. Just try not to get the hands, because actually, you know what, I'm going to paint the hands like gloves. No one's going to know. No one will know. Because flesh takes a lot longer to paint than anything else. So what am I missing? Great hangout chats, been a real blast, got to slope off. Take care, peace and love. Yeah, cheers Revits, man, it's been check out Essex Boys response video. Alright. Cheers man, it's been great. I'll see you in the next one. You take care. So I know some of you were working on stuff earlier. Have you finished what you're doing, or are you working on something else? Have you paused for a bit? Are you gone back to it? What are you up to at the moment? Let us know in the comments below. Gotta keep my posture right. I never have an issue with my coconut. Oh, nice little dad joke slipped in there. And that, and then screw it, I'll just do the whole thing. There we go, done. Hey Dan, welcome back. Busy times at the moment, making big life decisions. Sweet. Well, I hope everything's going well for you. career-wise. So don't. Oh, okay. Well, as I said, I hope everything's going well for you, mate. Good luck in what you chase after. I've set everything up, but just enjoying a curry pot noodle and 5 slices of toast first. You and your pot noodles. I don't know anyone who eats so many pot noodles who's not a student. Are you a student? Kind of eat like a student. Just go back and just get those bits that I missed. Brewy. I think I did. The decision not to put all the extra grenades and stuff on them has really sort of helped save me a lot of time. I can always see that. I don't have to paint those little green blobs and red blobs and whatever. Let's get Geordie LaForge's fires painted up. Just finished off the last couple of bits of the Necrons from tonight's stream. Sweet! Now I'm finishing editing next weekend's video. Awesome. What's it on, man? Give us a little snippet of what it's going to be about. Hashtag on it. Prepared a suppressor squad. Now base coating. Sweet. Finished building the Harridan reinforcements today though. Nice. Yeah, did anyone check out the video from Ministry of Wargaming? Sorry, Ministry of Warhammer. Sorry. Where he covered the alternative builds of the Harridan reinforcements. The Harridan. Is it Harridan? Harridan? I'm not sure. It was a good video, man. It's proper chill as well. And he's almost at 1,000 subs as well at the moment. I think he only needs like 30 subs more. So he's doing really well for himself. Not jealous at all, of course. No jealousy whatsoever. I'm happy for him. The jammy bastard. He's a nice guy. Thanks, by the way. You're welcome. 5 for £1 in the company shop. Ah. Still, man. Can't live on pot noodle alone. Working on an Ogre Blood Bowl team at the moment. Loved the stream. Glad I caught it finally. Mugwump. Hey, how you doing? Well, it's good that you've actually spoken up. I didn't know you were there, man. Well, I'm glad you're here with us, and I'm glad you finally caught stream. So thank you very much. I'm not rambling too much about random stuff, but when I get talk, I don't talk much. I've said this before in previous streams, right? In one of these live streams alone, I speak more than I do in a month in real life. And for a long time, my speech really sort of suffered for it because I wasn't really talking that much. And the people I was talking to, because I worked in Subway for 6 years, I sort of like went from sandwich artist up to store manager, and then I was helping to run a couple of stores, and then I dropped that because it was ridiculous pay, and then I moved into being a cleaner for London Underground again. Both of those jobs I was working with a lot of international people, a lot of Europeans, mostly Eastern Europeans, but also people from Bangladesh, people from India, Pakistan, some of the South Asian countries, sort of Southeast countries. So I got so used to not speaking much, but when I did, I spoke in broken English, that I ended up just speaking in broken English when I was at home as well. It's kind of like, like if you spend a few years in a country, you sort of pick up some of the accents. And I kind of lost my own accent for a bit. So I kept floating in and out of different accents, and people got confused where I was from. And when I said, no, I'm a London boy, West London, born and bred, I'm like, really? So yeah. But now, I'm getting all this practice, and I feel like I'm finally talking like myself again, which is great. Not great for some people, because they have to hear me waffle about the most nonsensical stuff ever. But I'm having fun with it. And I wouldn't trade. You know what? I wouldn't trade those experiences for anything. Like, I learned so much about other cultures, religions, perspectives on the world, views on this country and views on other countries, and I really got a sort of sense of, without having to travel around the world, I got a sense of what it would kind of be like to meet other people around the world, Let's see, what have I missed? Did you like my hobby corner? Didn't get the guinea pig in the picture though. Hang on. Where did you send it? Did you send it on Facebook, or did you send it on Instagram? And I'll check it out. I actually need another 3 suppressors. I want to run 2 units of the force. Oh, it's your Wargamer response video. Okay. Just finished gluing and pinning an old lead land speeder from '94 I found in the loft this morning. Oh, dude, why would you put yourself through that? Random question: what's the average points value for a game of 40k? Also, as I've not played since 3rd edition, where do I find the rules to put a force together, or is it that player dependent? 2,000 points is a big enough game. That'll keep you busy for about 3 to 4 hours. If you have objectives, it can speed it up a bit more. I don't really play a lot of 40k or Age of Sigmar though, so it's hard for me to tell you specifically. So more people in the chat will let you know. But a good size for like a couple of hours of gaming would be 1250, because 1,000 is too small for you to get like a good couple of characters or heroes in your army, or like a couple of good tanks in there. 1250 just seems to be enough that you can get like the stratagems and all that nonsense in there. So yeah, and the points for 40k are all in the chapter approved. They get updated regularly. In the codex, you'll have power points, which is just like a quick pick up and play sort of points value. So you're not paying points for the war gear specifically. You just pay the points for the minimum size unit, and then you just go from there, sort of thing. In which case, like a quick game would be like 20 to 30 power points. Right, what am I missing here? Oh, it's almost 11:30 already. Jeez. I got 2 of the Vanguard set to make the bulk of my army. Got 1 squad sitting in. Oh, nice. 2000 is what most people aim at. That used to be the points limit for competitions. Yeah, I got the Vanguard. Yeah, I never got the Vanguard stuff. I don't talk much either. I like your stream because you sound chilled and natural. Oh, thank you so much. But if anyone ever wants me to put on like an announcement, an announcer voice, I could be like, "Hello and welcome to the Hobby Corner. My name's Kev, and we are live right now." I don't think I could keep that going for long, though. It was on the Mortal Realms Facebook group run by Fohammer. I've missed something here, haven't I? Oh, okay. You're talking about your corner. I'll hop onto that then. And I'll have a look. I hadn't actually been on Facebook that much today, only just to throw down the link. So yeah, I'll have a butcher's after this. Anyway, how many likes are we on at the moment? Just so I can plan ahead. Infiltrators are tops, better than intercessors. Give them the Coma's array and have a Phobos captain and lieutenant on the table, and you get a reroll on 1s for hitting and wounding. Woo! Just nice. Send you a pic of it on Facebook. Alright, sweet man. You know what? Everyone send me, hop on Facebook or on Instagram. The details are scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And just throw me a pic of your setup. Right. Just, you know, and then you can get a very depressed response from me about how I don't have a setup anymore. You approve of the announcer voice. Bloody hell. I really couldn't keep it up if I wanted to though. With a double shot for rapid weapons, if they stand still, 2 units give you 40 shots at 3+ with reroll 1s for hits. 6s cause automatic wound as well. Then the recollect 1s on wounds or reroll 1s on wounds with the lieutenants. Whew. Philip, are you trying to get a sneaky one in there, mate? 31. You know I could just check on my phone, right? Cheeky monkey. Hop on Facebook or on... Oh, there is 30. Hang on, let me like my own video. There we go, now it's 31. Oh, I'm up to 753 subs. Woo! I appreciate every single one of you guys and gals who are subscribing to my channel and watching me waffle and paint. It's absolutely magic. I love it. If I could do this every night, actually I wouldn't. Not because I wouldn't want to. It's just, you know, dude's gonna get burned out real quick. and also got to spend time with the wife once in a while. Not just for her, but for me as well, you know. It's nice to have the company of your other half. Though I'm a bit upset with her because I got roped into watching Poldark about a year ago, and we caught up with all of it on Netflix, and it was just like, you know, like you sometimes have a TV show that you watch with your other half, yeah, and it's just kind of like that show that you look forward to watching, so you're spending time with each other while the kids are asleep. And the new series has just popped up, and she already bloody started it. I was livid. So you made me sit through all of that, right? There's a new season now, and you just went ahead anyway. And she's like, well, you're doing all those live streams, so I couldn't be bothered to wait for you. And I was like, oh. Love you, Lee. See you, Dan. It's been good seeing you, man. You take care. I think you and I need to have a chat sometime. I've got a lot of questions. A lot of questions. What about exactly? Don't have a setup, just take over the dining table when I can. It's fair enough, it's what most people will end up doing. DM me on Discord. I've still got no work for 5 weeks. Woo! Aren't you in another country? 31 likes self? Yep, 31 likes. Worcester. Yeah, we had a discussion about that the other night about how to say Worcester. I think I'm saying it right. Worcester. So I'm saying Winchester, but it's Worcester. Did you say good morning earlier? This is a happy greeting. That is right. Also, I think in Old English, if you meet someone for the first time in the day, you can say good morning or good morrow. So yeah, what's everyone's plans on Saturday? This Saturday with the release of Indomitus, and for all those who managed to get it pre-ordered by Games Workshop and are going to the store to collect it, what's your plans for the day exactly? And does it include watching the Chilling Wargamers with their live stream? Because they're going to do a little live stream of the box and what they're planning to do with it. Okay, cool, pal. I'll definitely throw you some cues for sure. And yep, it is definitely a nice greeting. Cues are nice. It is nice to have the company of your other half. Why do you think I was always... Well, fair enough. Hey, Mythos! How you doing? Good of you to join us again in the last leg of the stream. Always a pleasure to see you here. That question's comment was aimed at THCKev. I don't know anymore. To be fair, 25 seconds of that was boiling the kettle for the bottom. Fair at Kev. Playing 40k is basically from scratch for me. I've forgotten everything, so need to go through the basics and basically get taught noob style. Fair enough. Well, I kind of did that with the 40k Conquest series. I did up to issue 19, which basically covered all of the basics of playing Warhammer 40,000, and I did little playthroughs to show it after going over the rules. There was only 2 rules that never got covered, that were covered in later, and that was on using detachments and that sort of thing, and teleporting in to combat, I think it was. But the new edition, the rules are a lot bigger now. It's not just 4 pages or 8 pages and like some tweaks. It's extended now because they stripped it back a bit too much last time. But if you all want to see playthrough videos of the new rule set, then you know I'll be willing to do that. Saturday I'm grabbing my box at noon and devoting the day to painting. Sweet. Your noon is gonna be our evening, and I should be still on by then, so feel free, man. I will be live streaming as long as I can on that day, with regular breaks of course, but I want to work out the details with Elston and Pickle first, just to make sure that we don't clash and make the most of it, you know. What else we got? Ah, work is Saturday. We're all doing good, Mythos. We're all doing good. Get yourself up the hill. Used to work with him and Ems. I'm sorry, man. Lupus for us. Cool. Love this too. So sweet-natured people. Right, everyone. It's been great as always. Yeah. Cheers, Philip, for joining us. I'll see you next time, man. Appreciate your viewership. You take care of yourself. Right, what was I doing? Look at this. I've only done the scouts. It's taken me the best part of 45 minutes just to paint that. I'm not going to get done in time. I definitely need a drink though. I'm going to grab a beer. Screw it. Yep. Just gotta slide up. Got drinky poo. All good. Here we go. Now let me just get a mouthful of popcorn as well. I'd have to do it in stages though, like cover all the movement, cover all the shooting, the terrain and all that sort of thing, combat. Because it looks like there's going to be quite a few rules, but knowing Games Workshop, I'll probably have one of these snazzy YouTubers doing a playthrough video. Sitting by the window like a dog waiting for the postman. You haven't left yet, Dan? Thought you had left. Well, I mean, good for you that it seems eBay and places like that are going to be flooded with halves of the box. So, and probably going cheap because there's going to be so much of it. So, it's a good time, you know. Bad time to be a scalper, but good time to be someone who needs to get half a box for cheap. Right. Got my popcorn. Got me beer. Let's get back to work. Got less than an hour. Has Mythos hit the like button yet? Because that'll be an extra minute onto my my time here. Just couldn't get enough of THC. Yeah, THC could stand for anything, like tender hugging cuddles. The huge. Yeah, could stand for anything. That's why, after about 6 months of doing my videos, and I updated my my logo from just having THC on it to having THC, then the hobby corner underneath, just so it sort of clarified what it was for. Because otherwise, I kept getting questions about, hey, do you know what THC is? And I was like, yeah, I know what THC is. It's the hobby corner. Be at your local GW when the door's over first day. Yeah, I got a 9 o'clock slot to go grab mine. So I'm happy. It's early enough. I wanna know. I definitely need to go as an EC. Oh, alright, man. Well, you take care, yeah. Rest up now. Sleep's not just for your body, it's also for your mind. Recharge. Ordered from in Lincoln, and I also got one from Asgard in Middlesbrough. Of course, I actually have had this light and running since about 30 minutes after you started. I try to make sure. Oh, you are a babe. You're such a babe, Mythos. Oh, you're just comparing shipping notes, are you? It's not competition, alright? See you, man. Yeah, no, this is where it really definitely slows down. Lots of little details with the intercessors. Oh, just the primaris. Full stop. I can't do any painting tomorrow in the morning because I've got to go get my parking brakes adjusted. So I have to go down to my mate's, get the car jacked up, get his tools out, tear open half the interior of the car, and get that thing tight. Because right now I live in a valley, right? So it's a very hilly place. So the only way I can park without my car rolling away is by having the wheel turned onto the curb and then having it in gear, which is hilarious when I keep forgetting that it's in gear and I start the engine and the car just goes I'm not going to wear it, as I could go full Karen on their asses. Well, it's not, you don't have to wear a mask, it's a face covering, you know, so it doesn't have to be a mask per se. But yeah, like, the thing is, because the new rules, you could be refused entry, but there's nothing to stop the shop manager from just bringing it out to you, so you could put it in a bag and just give it to you on a doorstep. So that's one way of doing it. See, where there's a will, there's a way. I think little kids are exempt because they're not expected to be able to keep a mask on, and those who have special circumstances, which is probably a very endless landmine of reasons why. I don't really plan on getting 2 copies, but I tried to order at Asgard and it wouldn't take my cash, so I messaged Steve, the owner, and asked about it, and he messaged me after. Oh, oof. Well, I mean, it's good for you, man. Unless you needed that money, of course, and then, whoops. Awkward conversation with the missus. Now, I do add a little bit of water to my lead belcher just because it is quite warm at the moment, and metallic paints dry super fast. So yeah, you're always going to need a little bit. Don't over, but it's very easy to split with water, so you just need a little bit, just enough to wet your brush, and then it will help spread it out a bit more. And then if you ever feel like you've put a little bit too much, then you can just add a bit more lead belcher to it. So that's a nice easy tip there. See, like I'm still throwing out little tips, man. See, it might be a little tip, but it's got a huge impact. Oh dear. That's right. It's dad joke o'clock. Right. That's on Hell Blast done. Dodge handbrake and have to leave my car in gear as well. I have an old glove I put on the gear stick to remind me. You know, I mean, I've seen videos of it. If you got like a jack and you got the tools to get the back wheels off, and yeah, that's what you really need, and then like a screwdriver, and you can do it yourself. You just gotta get in behind the handbrake, the box that the handbrake is in, lift that all off, and then there's a little screw in between the two cables, and you can just tighten that as much as you like into, but I think the rule of thumb is until the handbrake only goes up to 5 clicks, but you can have it tight or loose if you like. And then just to make sure you sorted it, you take the back wheels off, and there's like a little like rotary notch system which you could just tick, and that tightens the cables down on the pads that squeeze the brake pads down. And then you just you try to turn the wheel, and you just do it until the wheel almost doesn't turn freely. And then that's it really. I think that's the gist of it. Hate mod lines. I've only done 2 poxwalkers in 25 minutes. Oof. Don't worry too much with poxwalkers. They're your cannon fodder. Unless you're doing like a showpiece, they're your cannon fodder. No one's going to look too closely at them. I used to have a house brick in the boot for my old Mark II Escort, which had no handbrake. Fucking hell. Had no handbrake at all. How did it ever pass MOT? Jesus. That's what she said. Nomski, naughty boy. Alright. So we're almost on the last half hour of the stream. I think we're doing alright. I think because like the first hour and a half, there's so many awesome people in the chat. It was hard to keep up with the chat and with painting and that. And now there's just a handful of awesome people, and it's a bit more chill at the moment because everyone's sort of just winding down from the day. And yeah, the painting's sped up a bit, which is great. Bloody hell, I don't think I'm going to get it done in time though. That's alright though, that's okay. I don't mind too much. As long as I finish painting these before I start painting the other stuff, the new stuff. I really got to make sure that I stick to it, because otherwise it's just going to be the same old story of buying more before I finish what I got. Yeah, but the thing is, if you don't sort it out, then you can fail your MOT on it, and then you've got to pay like a ridiculous amount to get it sorted. I didn't. I had a mate who did them. Okay. I think everyone knows a guy who will do the MOT, you know, in a way that's not breaking the law, but will get a car that may not necessarily pass on a more rigorous test, and get it through just for like an extra 10 or 20 quid. Like my car is a diesel. It's a Skoda Octavia, and I keep getting this little yellow engine light, and it's the same problem that just won't go away, and it's the air intake for the turbo. It just I think it needs replacing. I don't know, but I have cleaned it out before. There's this spray that you can put in there, and you just pop off the tube, the air intake tube. You run the car on a very low rev, and then you just spray it now and then, and the thing just kicks it all out, the exhaust, and all the grime and that builds up in the system, because of course it recycles any air that hasn't been used in the combustion process. So you get all the crap come out. And yeah, like I did all that because I went to a garage and they said, oh yeah, we're gonna have to replace this part, it's gonna cost this much. I was like, no. Had a look on how to sort it out, found a way to do it that wouldn't cost me a bomb, and I sorted it out, and it worked perfectly for a couple of miles, and then the old engine fault thing came up again. I was just like, fuck's sake. But luckily my mate, he's got this Bluetooth connected socket thing that you pop into the car under the dash, and you can get a read on all the error codes and stuff, and you can clear the error codes. And we did that just before we went into the MOT, because the car was perfectly fine. That was the only issue that kept coming up, and it doesn't really affect the safety of the car. It's just the performance. But having that engine fault light come up would be a strike, So it was so funny. So the error code popped up once during the exhaust test, and it was still in the thing, and we forgot that we had left it in the car, and my mate just quickly cleared the error code before it got plugged into the computer. It was so dodgy. And then the guy was like, yeah, can you remove that please, because I need to plug my computer in it. I was like, yeah, sure. Like nonchalant, like, oh, I forgot that was in there. Let's see. Back in the 90s, no one cared because it was all paperwork and no computer evidence. Yeah, that's true. Yes, I am doing the Indomitus stuff. I'm gonna try and get it. Well, I'm booked in to collect it from my Games Workshop at 9 in the morning. So I may be able to stream for an hour or two before Elston and Josh on the Chilling Wargamers thing go live and do their little open and show and tell, and then I'll use that as like a nice little break. I think they said maybe about 2 o'clock they'll do that, which gives them plenty of time to set up and stuff, and it gives people plenty of time to get home to watch them as well. And then when they're done, I'll pop back on and bore you lot to death with my fanboyism. My wife works at a college. They have a motor garage section, so she gets the tutors to give our car a once over before we go to MOT. They've even done some work on it for free for us a few times. Sweet. Well, because you know, like they do it because it's a passion of theirs, you know. So that's like my mate. My mate likes tinkering with cars. It's a passion for him. So it'll never cost me anything. I just have to buy the parts myself. But I like working with him because then he's sort of teaching me as well. So I like learning about new stuff and that. Yeah, it's decarbonising the turbo. There is a similar spray for normally aspirated carbs. Yeah. It was fun though. Like you give a little spray like that, and the revs just go. And I thought because my granddad put his foot lightly on the pedal just to keep the revs at 10,000. Was it 10,000 RPM? I think it was, or 2,000 RPM. No, it was 2,000 RPM. Just so it was on low revs. And I kept thinking that maybe like he was just revving it now and then. It's like, are you revving it? He's like, no. I was like, whew. But I could feel some of the grit like fire back on my arm as well. They added 6 months to all the MOTs because the CV19, mine is now 10th Jan. Not going to have money after Christmas to fix anything. Lol, don't you just love dodgy shenanigans? Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, it's so dodgy, but you know, like it's so expensive to have a car. My car is a second-hand car, and it's an ex-rental as well. It's nothing fancy. It's what reg is it? It must be an 04 or an 06. I can't remember exactly. So, yeah, nothing too fancy. My right rear passenger window is disconnected from the mechanism that opens and closes it. So, if I ever accidentally push the button to open the window, and then I hit a bump, then that panel of glass is just going to fall right into the door, and it has happened before. Actually, it happened, what was it, a month and a half into the lockdown, and I had to call someone out to juice up my battery, because what had happened was the mechanism had disconnected from the bottom of the glass pane. So like there's the mechanism that clamps the bottom of the glass pane, and it does that with it, and it had disconnected during the winter, but it had never been a problem. Like it kind of had some sort of hold on it, but for some reason just after lockdown it decided you know, it's no longer going to hold on to it. And what happened was I just opened it, and then the pane fell through, and I was like, fuck. So I taped up a bag over the door and everything. But the problem was the mechanism was still automatically trying to close, and it kept coming up to the side of the glass pane because, of course, it fell behind the mechanism. So it goes up, and then it would open because it's like a safety feature so that it would never close on someone's arm or something. So it kept opening itself. And, of course, when I locked the car, it's still trying to close that window pane. And by the next morning, the battery had run dry because, you know, the whole system was still alive, and that thing was just keep going zzz, 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 all night. So, yeah, that was a massive pain. But I had a really good guy. He came, juiced up my thing. I said it's probably because of this thing, and he was like, okay, let's help sort it out. I got a big old wire coat hanger, pulled the glass pane out, we fixed it up. And it's just like, yeah, never going to open that again. Because in order to fix it, there are rivets behind the card, and you can't get them out. They're like punched in. So you'd need someone to remove that somehow, which will probably cost more than it's worth. It'd probably be cheaper, replacing the door. But then by the time I pay all that, I might as well just get a new car, which I can't afford to. So it's all money, money, money. That's my life story. Thanks for listening. £400 on tyres. Yeah, punctures are so. You know what? I kind of think that maybe these tyre dealers are putting screws into the tyres, because for the longest time I kept getting punctures, and it was like these nails just coming out of nowhere. I was like, where the frick are these nails coming from? I'm not near any construction sites. I'm not near any workshops or anything like that. Why am I always getting these punctures? £62 for a new tyre. I wouldn't pay more than 40. I hardly drive living in the city centre. I can go 3 months easy without using it, so I've got a spare battery I keep charged and just switch it. Well, I mean, all you have to do is in order to just juice the car up a little bit, because it leaches from like the security stuff, the onboard computer, even the little clock. It all leaches the battery. So what you do is you just once a week you turn the engine, and you just leave it to run for about 20 minutes, and that will juice up that little leaching that will happen. If it's the winter though, for some reason in the winter, cars' batteries just go a bit more faster. So do it more frequently in the winter, I guess. Yeah, it's a massive ball ache. I used to live in West London, so transport was the big thing. But when I moved out, actually when we got our kid, I had to get another car, and then we ended up having to move out from West London and out into the sticks in High Wycombe, just for affordability. And you kind of have to be able to drive everywhere, because transport isn't that reliable outside of a big city. And it's really expensive as well. Like in London, because you got TfL, everything's a flat fee. But out here you're paying per bus stop. It's just like, what? I haven't had to do that since I was a little kid. And I remember my mum letting me hold the change and say to the bus driver, 1 adult and 2 halves until the Polish War Memorial plays, or Greenford High Street, and then you would know exactly how much change you would need to pay the driver. I've looked at not owning one and just renting, but still cheaper to own. I only live 300 yards from work, so that's fair enough, man. Had to pay the 62 as it was the only one in. Yeesh. I actually need to get my spare replaced, because about a month ago I just randomly got a bulge on the side of my front tyre. No reason whatsoever. And that tyre was no more than like 3 months old. So it was almost brand new. But if you get a bulge in the sidewall, that's it. It's a write-off. You can't use it. You know, it just takes a sharp object or one big bump, and that tire's gonna blow. So yeah, I definitely need to get my spare replaced. Who knows? You know, once I make it big on YouTube and I'm rolling in that advertising money, all these worries will be a thing of the past. I'll have my super yacht and everything. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. How depressing is that? Actually, my granddad gave me a battery charger. You just hook it up to your mains and charge your battery when you need to. But he bought it because one time his battery went flat and he thought he'd need it, but someone juiced it up for him, so he never ended up using it. And he gave it to me because he's like, oh, just in case it happens again to you. Hasn't happened again yet. But I've kept it in the boot of the car just in case. Though to be honest, I don't think the boot of the car is the best place anyway, because if the battery went flat, I wouldn't be able to open it. So I'd be buggered anyway. Ain't been on a bus in about 10 years. You're not missing anything. I got a spare battery for £25 from Halfords and a charger for 15. I can change it now in less than 5 minutes. Sweet. My mate actually made me laugh one time when we went to disconnect the battery to reset the onboard computer, because we thought maybe that will clear the code, because it just would not go. And he went to put the cable back on the battery, and I was like, "Are you sure you don't want to wear gloves on when you do that?" And he's like, "Nah, it's alright, it's fine, it's safe." I was like, "How much do you want to bet that's gonna spark up?" It's like, "Nah, it's not going to do it." Oh, I've never laughed so hard at my friend's imminent loss, potential loss of life. I've lived just outside Cambridge for 3 years, and buses were the best way to get around. Really good service. Yeah, Cambridge is a university city, isn't it? So public transport's going to be really invested in. I don't have a spare wheel, I found out today. Oh, just this weird tyre gel that could only pump in if the tyre pressure was right, and it wasn't, so couldn't use it. Wow. That's 4 poxwalkers. What have you been doing? Just listening and chatting? You're right. 4 poxwalkers though, mate. Blimey. Like, half of them are 1-piece or 2-piece. Actually, most of them are 2-piece. But there are a couple of 1-piece models in there. Have you included those in your build? No, it doesn't have a key slot. You have to use the fob to open it. And it does have a pressure pad underneath that you push to pull out, but the thing is, that doesn't work. So I have to use the boot button on the key fob to open it, which is a real pain if I got the engine running. I have to turn the engine off, take the key out, I have to wait 3 seconds before like I can use the key fob, and then and it literally for only 2 seconds it will unlock, right? And if you don't pick it up in that time, it'll lock again, but it'll be half open. So the amount of times my wife's knocked on the back window and gone, alright, open the boot, and I've gone, right, and then she hasn't quite caught it in time, and she's gone to pull it, and it's gone, and then she's, fuck, it won't lift. It's so fucking bad. I get training to the city 5 times a week. I have not been in the city since lockdown in early March. Yeesh, you're in for a treat, mate. It's so weird now. First time I went on the high street was a week ago, because you know, I got really sick. Don't know if it's COVID, but it could have been. Sort of just after my birthday in March, because I'm like, my birthday's like right at the beginning of March, and so I did a 2 weeks thing, and then my wife got sick a day after I'd gone back to work, so of course another 2 weeks, and then just near the end of her quarantine, that's when they initiated lockdown. So we'd kind of been in lockdown for like a month more than everyone else, and then of course we found out that we had to be shielding because our eldest son had been in the hospital a few times in the last few months running up to that for breathing complications. He's had like asthma like things, and he's had steroids and all that sort of thing, and so that's meant that while everyone's sort of been enjoying coming out of lockdown and trying to get back to normal, we're sort of a month behind everyone else. So lots of extra time both ways. Yeah, the batteries always spark up. That's the fun bit about them. It's only 12 volts, so it'll only hurt a bit. They're all 2-piece so far. Yeah, so what's taking you so long, man? Get to it. Chop chop. Indomitus is only a couple of days away. Well, actually, it's a couple of sleeps away, isn't it? Heaps of seams on poxwalkers. Yeah, but you don't have to worry too much about it. Like I said, they're poxwalkers, the cannon fodder. No one's going to look too closely. I just caught myself holding my breath then. The crazy going-ons on the metal cars. Or mental cars. What mental cars? Cars aren't mental. The people who design them are. The people who drive them are even worse. Yeah, they're not the best. I'm going to slap typhus corrosion over everything I'm not happy with. Sorted. Bad cars are the best. I don't think I have ever spent more than $1,000 for one. Never sold one on. Always scrapped. Yeah, I mean, this is my 3rd car ever. The first one was a Fiat Punto. It was a 96 one, so it was like really small, bit banged up. And my mate had got it for dirt cheap, and he had it for a couple of years, and then he was going to do a part exchange for it, and the dealership only offered him 50 quid. They weren't going to offer him anything, but they thought, look, we'll give you 50 quid for it. And he's like, what? What's the point? So he asked me if I wanted it. So I was like, sure, I'll give you the 50 quid for it. And he did warn me it needed a lot of fixing up, which I didn't really do. I just like got the cooling system sorted out, just so it would run without peeing out coolant, and that was it. But it did me all right. It lasted me almost a year, despite punctures and stuff like that. And me and the wife did a little road trip for our honeymoon, and we went all along the south coast of England, all the way down to Land's End, so through all the nice spots, and then we went across the top, the northern part of the peninsula, of the Cornish and the Cornish peninsula, and we went all the way up to Bristol and Bath, and yeah, it was nice. That little car took us so far. It was such a little banger. And then my other car got written off because the main framework of it got slightly bent out of shape because I got dinged in the back by a van at the lights. So yeah, that took me out of action for a little while. And that's when I ended up with this one. But the rental car I had was really nice. Again, that was a Skoda, but it was like a brand new Skoda. It was white. It sat up slightly higher. It was still an Octavia, but it was like, I never drove a brand new car before, and it was a brand new car. Had all the bells and whistles. The acceleration on it was mental. Like I loved it, and I was like, can I keep it? When I had to give it back in, and like, no, sorry. It's like, can I buy it off you? Nope, sorry. It's like, now I have to go find one with the money that they paid me off with. You could unlock it with a 2p piece, because the the thing is, growing up, I've had relatives with cars like that. I know exactly what you're on about. Oh my god. Yeah, our boy's good. Actually, he used to get a lot of flare-ups when we stayed uptown in London, with my wife's nan, actually, because she liked to keep the heating on high. You can't have the windows open upstairs because you're letting the cold in. It was that sort of thing, and it was like, look, the heat is drying him out, and it's giving him the asthma attacks. So just let us have the window open at least, because the room that we ended up staying in, whenever we go over there, has the boiler in the cupboard, so, and all the pipes run under the floorboards, and it just leaches heat everywhere. So it's great if you want to keep warm in the winter. In the summertime, it's brutal. It's a sweat box. So yeah, he ended up going to St. Mary's a few times to get himself straightened out. But a lot of the time, all it took was just taking him downstairs into a cooler room and just sitting with him for a bit and giving him some water, and he'd sort himself out. But since the lockdown, he hasn't had an attack, and we've been sort of like firmly stuck at home. So that's your scientific method right there, isn't it? My first was a Renault 5 I got for free. Had that for 5 years. 5 years. You got a car for free as well. Jammy git. I'm not too worried if I spill over, because again, I'm going to have to go over that with a lighter blue anyway, so screw it. Just wipe off the worst if you make a mistake, but if there's a faint bit on it, don't worry too much about that. That's why I haven't done the layer paint yet, because I knew I'd spill over. Okay. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're almost out of time. That's a shame, because I was enjoying it. I was really knackered this morning because I just didn't get quality sleep for the last couple of nights. And then I've just sort of perked up in the last few hours. It must be the good company I got. I once drove a Ford car from Maidstone to Middlesbrough with a seized thermostat, so it was like an oven for hundreds of miles. Fuck. It was raining too, so it kept fogging up so hot, so I had to keep the window open, so it got soaking wet. Oh no. Never had a car with a working aircon, always the window. You know what? I didn't realise that the first Skoda Octavia that I had, because that was a petrol, I didn't even know that had aircon. And then I didn't know it had working aircon, but it was just a case that it was just stale air that you get blasted with for the first few minutes, and then it was dead cool and it was really nice. So you just crank the windows down, let it blast out the stale air, and then once that had passed, you can just wind the windows up and it was nice. But this diesel one, even though it's a later model, it's got econ on it, not aircon. So you just have warm air blasted at you. It's ridiculous. But I guess they got so much character, you know. For all the inconvenience that they have, they provide good times as well. To scrape the moss off. Oh my goodness. That's so amazing. The thing is, that old, the reason why I got rid of that Fiat Punto was because I had to take it for an MOT. And I took it into a garage that my family go to all the time. It was well trusted. The guy was good. And the repairs were going to come up to like 300. It needed quite a bit of work on it that I hadn't given it. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to afford that. So I had looked to see how much I could get it for scrap. Now bear in mind, I bought that for 50 quid off my mate. I only put a few quid in to sort of repair the radiator, and that was it. And replace one punctured tyre. I ended up selling it for about 130 quid. And they collected it for free. So my mate, when he found out, it's like, you jammy git. I was like, you should have scrapped it. You could have had a few extra quid in your pocket. And of course I gave the guy at the garage a few quid for holding on to the car for me for a bit. But yeah, it was alright. And then I didn't have a car for a few years, because I just didn't need it. Anyways, it is now 32 minutes past, and how many likes did I get? I got 31. So yeah, I'm gonna have to call it there, because I'm gonna have to fix that dodgy handbrake right now. Not right now, but in the morning. So I'll let you all know how that goes tomorrow. If the guys at Chilling Wargamers don't go online tomorrow for live stream, then I'm looking at maybe starting an hour earlier, just to get a bit more painting done. So yeah, that's it for now. I mean, we got half the troops done with the lead belcher, and that's the longest bit. Is picking out all those details. The rest of it will be a lot faster. Oh, and picking out all the bits that will be painted black. Those two colours are the longest bit. Like the gold trims and everything is a lot faster. But anyway, it's been a huge pleasure to have you, to chat to you, to chill out to you, for all the good laughs, the stories, the nonsense that we've gone on with. I've just had a brilliant time. So thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, I do hope to see you in the next one. And again, a big shout out to Gary for his £5 donation, which is going straight into the pot for more RAM for this getting old laptop, so we can have a better experience with streaming. And if you want to donate towards the channel, help me get to that £30 goal so I can get more RAM for the laptop, then there's details to get to PayPal, or you can hop onto Patreon and become a patron there and support the channel that way. I only got 2 tiers. It's £1 and £5, each with its own benefits. And as always, just liking, watching the video, sharing it, and just being here is just enough to support us. So thank you again. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate the time that you spent with me. So I'm gonna leave it there. Sorry, Lupus, it's already 2 minutes over 32. So all right, big love everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Keep an eye on Twitter or Instagram. So get the details from the description below, and I'll update you on which time I end up on, either 8 or 9. So yeah, you'll stay safe, you'll look after yourself, you'll get a good night's sleep, keep that healthy as well as that healthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.